welcome to episode, I think this is 20, 19 or 20, of
Sam
and Ella.
got canceled.
We're headed to Hickson.
Again. Getting on the freeway a little different way than we usually do.
It's because I don't like getting on up here at 58. I don't have enough time to get across lanes because that traffic's wanting to get on Amicola. So I like going a little further down. See, now I'm already in the lane I need to be in. And I can just stay right here and go all the way across the bridge.
You've learned well, Grasshopper.
See, when you get on right here, you have to get across, and all these people are getting over to exit Amicola, which there's not a whole lot right now. And this person's stopping so the truck can just push into them instead of just getting around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always...
There's no room for that truck to get over in front of him, but he's slowing down so the truck can't get over.
Well, it's the people in front of them.
Well, I know, but he could have sped up and it would have probably been a little easier for the truck. There's a car that got over 2 lanes. That guy was on the cell phone.
That's why I like going a little further down to get on.
The guy on the cell phone that passed us on the left got over to get off on the right because driving is not his priority. But hey, driving's hard. So
we're under an air quality thing again today.
probably from the
Very
smoke from
smoky.
the North Georgia fires.
There was some fires in Rossville, Walker County.
What happened to the whole things for the Frisbee golf? Are those just temporary?
I don't know. I don't play it.
I don't either, but they had them up there,
Yeah, months ago.
well, a month or 2 ago when we drove through here, and that was in the cold of winter. Of course, cold of winter down here is relative, because between December and March,
Did you sign your check?
Yeah, I signed it.
Okay.
It could be anywhere between the teens up to 80, well, 70 at least. There is a tugboat type
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
something
Looking
out
at the
there
road, though.
I don't know if that's actually
It looks like a
tugboat.
mini tugboat.
Yeah.
Compact.
Looks like it'd be able to fall over, but it could be like a glacier. It's a lot bigger underneath. I don't know when they're going to get these locks finished. They've been working on them for a while. I think since I worked at the plant, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that's been 7, 8 years. 8 years. A little over 8 years. There's a U.S. cryo carrier, so either they're getting a delivery or using an outside carrier to pick up. So
Are we going to the cemetery?
probably on the way back.
That's what I'm saying. Do I need to go up to the cemetery?
Well, we can go to the post office and the bank first.
That's what I'm going to do. That's right up here. I'm asking, do I need to go up to the cemetery?
Yes.
Okay.
On the way back. Did I not say that clearly? I think on the replay you'll realize, oh, he did say that.
You said on the way back. But
Yeah.
we have to go up to come back.
We have,
We have to go
Okay.
up to the cemetery.
okay.
So it's not like the cemetery's on the way back, is what I was making comment to.
Okay.
I need to get over.
Yeah, I know that. But I wasn't going to say anything because I let you drive, so I'll let you navigate.
Oh, I appreciate that.
cutting me off. And I could read his lips. He said crazy woman.
Yeah. Like
so I was on Google Maps looking at our area and just clicked on restaurants. And I'm like, well, what about the restaurants in Hickson? And I followed the Google map up 153. That Popeyes has 2.5.
I know.
They're awful.
All Popeyes are awful.
I know. They said customer service is bad, food is cold.
They don't have stuff in stock.
They actually did. I didn't read any reviews that said they didn't have the food on stock much.
Back when they first opened.
Yeah, but I was like, good cow.
They must have took the same people from the Highway 58 location and had them work there because they closed down 58. Yeah. But if you don't change the people that are making the mistakes, you're going to have the same outcome.
Yeah, it was.
They got all kinds of construction going on out here. What are they building on this side?
Well, they're making a BJ's.
Is this where BJ's is going?
BJ's is going to be over there in the mall part.
I thought it was going to be where the old Belk was. This is Sears, isn't it?
I thought it was going to be where the old Sears was.
Okay, must be.
Because is the Belk still over there?
I don't know.
Well, you know I don't.
They were supposed to have it done early this year, but this early this year is about done.
Yeah.
I don't see that being done early this year. Not sure why they had to redo the parking lot though.
They've got well, I guess that could be a nurse or maybe not, picking up trash. She must be low on the totem pole.
Is it a nursing home?
It's some type of maybe assisted living at some level.
The Belk is still open, it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I know?
Don't get me started.
Oh, get you started on all the things I know? That would take a while, wouldn't it?
I'm sure it would. Look, that's a one-way do not enter at that post office.
I know. Imagine that.
Huh.
You gonna take it in, or you want me to take it in?
I'll let you take it in. I guess I'll pause our video for a few moments. Okay, we're back.
We have been to the post office and the bank,
which are within about, what's that, about 500 yards, 500 feet?
You know I'm not good with size and distance.
Yeah, it's not that far. You can see the post office from the bank. And we're gonna, you got anywhere else you need to go?
I can't think of anything. I didn't write it down. If I did, I was thinking there was somewhere else, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
I needed to go to Home Depot or Lowe's, but that's for a truck day.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And I didn't feel that. I scratched that because I didn't feel like
emptying the truck.
I didn't feel like being out in this polluted air today because my head is already.
That could be what's wrong.
The polluted air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat out there for 2 hours yesterday. That could be what's wrong. So we told them that we have a camera in our neighborhood now at the park. I don't remember if we've had that.
I don't know if we mentioned it on our
last episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was there.
So I know a guy, and I mentioned to him that we'd had gunshots and other what I would deem illicit activity at the park next to our house.
Not mention house break-ins.
Yeah, we've had some break-ins and stuff. And so I asked him if we could, well, he mentioned, well, we can see about getting a camera, one of the portable cameras put in the park. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. So they had one in the shop, and I guess that was the one that got out. So they put it in the park. And since then, the traffic has slowed down a little bit. Some cars still fly through there like they're going to the ER. But several cars do, when they see that, they do slow down. But the people that show up on their lunch break to smoke their pot, they're not there anymore. The people that show up to engage in a cardiovascular exercise with somebody of the opposite sex, they don't show up. The only people that show up are people actually with their kids riding bikes or walking their dogs and
it's
stuff.
Like
that's kind of like
the camera got rid of the riffraff.
Yes. So yeah, it's kind of neat that we don't have
all that craziness now.
Yes, that is true.
I hope they don't remove the camera because we don't have any crime now.
Yeah, I hope the camera, if they keep the camera there because of the amount of activity, then they would probably remove it. Because
yeah, but if they keep it because it has
eliminated
all the calls.
Yeah, maybe we can get permanent. I'm gonna go up here and see my parents' grave.
We'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, we'll be back. Okay.
Instead of keep itching.
We are back. My parents' grave marker. Dusted it off a little bit. I'm hoping that rain gets some of the dried.
They didn't hit us. Look at that.
Bird caca off of it.
Oh, I'm happy the birds have been visiting your mama.
Yes, especially, I don't know what color of cardinals
The red birds
leave, but
they all leave white poop, blue poop.
Well, that
depends
was,
on what they eat.
That was black or dark brown.
That's pretty. Look at those bright flowers right there.
Yeah. There are people that, it seems like a lot of people
Well, Easter's coming.
in this cemetery put a lot of flowers.
Some people pay for the monthly service or every few months service where they come out here and do it for them.
Yeah.
Can I get by that car?
Yeah, I believe you can. She's checking her flowers.
Anything else?
No, it's... No. Going out here, or are you going up above the light and go out?
I'm gonna go up here.
So yeah, we were tickled. We went to the neighborhood meeting Tuesday evening. We had put in to have a tree that's in the right of way leaning toward the neighbor's house across the road. I don't think it would have reached it, but
They may have reached their vehicles.
yeah, if they had their vehicles parked in the line of fall. But we put in for it like 9 months ago, and my wife Ella had received a couple of email updates from
No,
the
I
city.
had to email them to get an update. I didn't receive
Okay.
anything.
Well, they'd responded to your request for updates.
The last update was in October, and they said, well, it can take a few months, weather permitting. And I'm like, the weather's been good, so I don't know what the deal is.
So
they had Public Works at the meeting. I think
they had Public Works at the neighborhood meeting. So I asked the guy who's over the whatever department about the lead time into when they say it could take a few months, what that means. And he said he would look into it because they were having a department leader staff meeting yesterday morning. And I had a pickup at Sam's between 8 and 9, and they let us know about 7:15 that it was ready. So I went to Sam's, and when I was coming back home, it was probably not even 8 o'clock. They had 6 or 7 vehicles out there, boom trucks, the big dumpster type vehicles that they can put the tree limbs and tree stump and stuff in, or the trunk, the cut up pieces of the trunk. And I'm telling you, they were probably done by 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
What got me is the week before they were at the park, and our backyard backs up against the park, and they had some dead cedar trees there. Well, they cut one of them down because it was leaning. It took them longer to cut down that one little cedar tree than it did this big old giant pine tree that they cut down yesterday.
And not to complain, but more of an observation. They had, when I came by the first time, when I was coming back from Sam's, they had 7, 8 people out there. And the whole time I would watch to see what the progress was, there was one guy doing the work. So I guess he must be a misfit, because it took 6 or 7 guys to supervise him.
I saw more than one guy working, because at one time they had the rope tied, and they had a few guys holding that rope to where the top of the tree fell, where it didn't fall into the road.
Right. I didn't see that. I just saw when they were trimming the branches off the top of the tree coming down, there was one guy in the bucket truck.
Well, I don't think 2 would fit.
Probably not. But then he was the one cutting the trunk. Well, they cut it in like maybe 4-foot sections, and they might have had somebody down below with a rope, but I think he was just cutting it and then pushing it off.
They had the people with the rope on the top section, but that top section, as soon as they pulled it, it fell. It was just fell apart because it was rotted.
Right. And that was our concern, that the thing would, a good storm, it didn't have a whole lot of...
Well, it had one giant limb hanging down from the last storm that hadn't fallen yet.
But it didn't have a whole lot of branches with needles, pine needles on it, to where the wind could have blown it down. But they left about maybe a foot of the stump, and I don't know if they're coming back with a stump grinder or what.
Probably not.
But it has like big holes in it that she can probably use to plant flowers in.
I'm probably going to make more holes in it. So
make it a bigger hole.
Make it like a big giant flower pot.
Yeah. So.
Because that's just how I am.
Yes. My dainty flower likes to plant flowers. So. But yeah, feel like we've had some things accomplished this week.
Some positive things happening. Because we've been praying that our neighborhood will get straightened up, because we really don't want to have to move.
Right.
Because we pretty much have the house how we want it when we retire, except for the inside. But we got everything done on the outside.
So
there is actually a couple more things we need to do to the outside. Down there in the bottom,
where some of the concrete's got cracks in it.
Yeah.
So we have things that need to be done in the house. But like she said, for the most part, we have it the way we want it. But I get these calls from people wanting to make lowball offers to buy the house so they can do very little work to it and resell it for a wagon barrel full of money.
People.
Yeah, that's what they do.
But we're not desperate.
But I had one call me yesterday. So I asked her, I said, well, how much would y'all offer for it? And she said, well, how much work does it need? And blah, blah, blah. And so we went back and forth, and she said, well, we'll call you back tomorrow with an offer. And I said, well, good. I said, is that the top offer we can get in writing? Because I want to get enough of these offers so that I can go to the property assessor and say, hey, look, here's what this house is worth based on all these real estate professionals this is what they're offering me for the house, so I can claim that the house doesn't have what it's going to be assessed at to get my property taxes lowered.
What did they say when you said that?
I don't think she understood what I was getting at.
She probably did.
Because I think the people doing that, they lack the ability they don't listen well. Because at one point on the call, well, there was a lot of hemming and hawing.
Come on, we're going to end this.
And at one point I did say, well, I don't think y'all have enough money to motivate me to move. But she kept right on with her little offer thing. So anyway, we're turning into the neighborhood. So goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you.
And good riddance.
Wow. So long.